I'll move on to, I think it's Giordano Bruno. He wants to speak about the First Amendment rights.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you
Bruno.
for your time. Yes, Giordano Bruno was a 12th century monk. He spoke truth to power. He had his tongue removed, and it was burned at the stake by the Inquisition. I told you this last time we were here, and that's what you personally did to me. So today, since you guys do not believe in the First Amendment to the Constitution, I'm here to educate you on it. So I know that you are not educated on the First Amendment to the Constitution, because when I go over to your place over there that says Justice Center, I go in there and I look for the Constitution. I look for the Bill of Rights, and they're nowhere to be found. So I brought a Bill of Rights for you to display in your Justice Center, and I'll read the first one to you. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. So these are what are called in the preferred position: freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and freedom of speech are in a preferred position in the law. So you have a huge wall to overcome in order to press charges against me. And see, your county attorney over here has said that my cameras cause pain, suffering, and trauma. I'm going to repeat that for you, because that's such an unbelievable statement, that your county attorneys in legal court documents have claimed that cameras cause pain, suffering, and trauma. That's a direct quote. So what we have, we're in the Ninth Circuit, and this is Arizona. In the Ninth Circuit, since 1995, we've had Fordyce versus Seattle. In 1990, Jerry Fordyce was hired by a protest group to film their protest of the G20 summit in Seattle. The police harassed him all day. They ended up arresting him because a woman went up to him and said, "You can't take my picture." And she said, "No, I can take your picture. You're in public." She went and found a police officer, and the police officer, of course, said, "No, he can record you, ma'am. It's perfect. But he can't record me in the commission of my duties." And so he arrested him, put him in jail overnight. The Court of Appeals determined that public officials can be recorded in the commission of their duties, from dog catcher to judge. So what I have here is Simon Glick. This is Glick versus Kniffy. This is in the 1st District. This is the wiretapping law. So if you tried to say my recording is a violation of the wiretapping law, it doesn't fly, because this is the federal law, this is the federal case that says that you have a right to record in public, that there is, if you want privacy, you have to create it. So what I have here is Philip Turner. This is Turner versus Driver. Turner was the Batusai. You can go on YouTube right now, and you can go to his channel. They ended up paying him $145,000 because they arrested him on the street for recording. They put him in cuffs, put him in the back of a truck, and they said he wasn't under arrest, but they ended up paying him $140,000 for the false arrest because the courts determined. And realized that this case got rid of all your qualified immunity. They said in this case that if you arrest somebody purely for the act of recording, you will lose your qualified immunity. This is Cohen versus California, 1971. Man wore a shirt to court. It said, "Fuck the draft." 1971. They arrested him for disorderly conduct. They arrested him for instigating. It went to the Supreme Court. They found that one man's profanity is another man's lyric. Why are you coming after my First Amendment free speech? You came after my cameras. I want to thank you, by the way, for getting them back. Half an hour after me speaking, they were calling me, trying to give me back my cameras. This is Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. This is the ruling that established the preferred position. The Jehovah's Witnesses in Pittsburgh were going around proselytizing. They were selling their wares. They were selling the Watchtower for a nickel here, a dime there, just asking for money. The courts determined that you cannot infringe on the rights of the people. If the people, once a right is established by either constitution or law, the government has to clearly mark. There has to be signs that say no recording, and there's no signs over at your Justice Center that say no recording. So I'm also going to turn it into you here. This is the 2018 Homeland Security memo on photography inside federal buildings. It says you can film inside federal buildings. This is what you are supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do when you see a photographer. You're supposed to leave them alone unless they're doing something illegal. And now I have also for you the Arizona Rules of Court. Arizona Rules of Court say I can record with consent. Arizona is a single-party consent state. I need consent from one person in order to be able to record inside the courthouse. And you know who that consent is going to be from, right? That's going to be me. I give myself consent. So I'm going to leave these here with you so you can review them, so you can know the law. Thank you for your time, gentlemen and ma'am.
All right, thank you. The